In a world where anxiety and fear often cloud our minds, picture discovering an eternal wellspring of wisdom, a guide that has empowered countless souls through the ages to rise above their deepest terrors. Today, we embark on an exploration of the profound teachings of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who emerged from the shackles of slavery to become one of history's most influential thinkers. His story, intertwined with the transformative principles of Stoicism, holds the power to reshape your outlook, fortify your spirit, and help you conquer the fears holding you back. Join me as we delve into 5 life-altering lessons from Epictetus, designed to equip you with unshakable resilience, cultivate inner tranquility, and reclaim control over your destiny. 1. The illusion of fear. Fear is a universal emotion, yet it often feels suffocating, like an invisible force pressing down on us. But what if I revealed that much of what you fear exists only in your mind? Phantoms conjured by Per. Overcoming the fear of judgment frees us to live authentically, unshackled by the need for approval. Confronting the fear of death empowers us to live fully, embracing every moment with clarity and intention. This path leads not just to resilience, but to liberation, a state where inner peace becomes our constant companion. It is here, free from fear, that we discover true freedom, the ability to live boldly, love deeply, and create a life that speaks to eternity. Recognizing this distinction liberates us from unnecessary burdens. Epictetus also teaches us to discern between rational and irrational fears. Rational fears, such as securing food or shelter, are vital for survival. However, modern anxieties, like the fear of lacking the latest gadget or designer label, are manufactured by societal expectations. By learning to separate these fears, we reclaim dominion over our minds and lives. 2. Transforming adversity into strength. Life is a tempestuous sea, unpredictable and unyielding, throwing waves of challenge our way. Yet Epictetus reminds us that suffering stems not from the storm itself, but from how we navigate it. He identified 2 categories in life: things within our control and those outside it. For example, losing a job during an economic downturn is beyond your influence. Why waste energy fearing it? Instead, direct your focus to actionable responses, acquiring new skills, exploring opportunities, or reframing your mindset to adapt and thrive. Epictetus himself faced unimaginable hardship. He was born into slavery and later exiled when philosophers were banished from Rome. Did he succumb to despair? No. He adapted, flourished, and shared his wisdom with renewed passion. This is the heart of Stoicism. Life will test you, but your response defines you. You can crumble under pressure or harness it as fuel for growth. True strength lies not in avoiding adversity, but in how you rise to meet it. 3. Amor fati, embracing fate. The Stoics championed a concept known as amor fati, the love of fate. This isn't mere acceptance, it's an enthusiastic embrace of life's events as catalysts for growth. Imagine pouring your soul into a project, only for it to falter. Rather than viewing this as failure, see it as a stepping stone toward success. History's greatest innovators faced repeated setbacks before achieving greatness. They transformed obstacles into opportunities, using each experience as momentum to propel them forward. Embrace life's unpredictability, not as a burden to endure, but as a gift to cherish. By adopting this mindset, you unlock the ability to flourish, regardless of circumstances. 4. Conquering fear through knowledge. Fear thrives in ignorance, but dissolves in the light of understanding. Epictetus teaches that through philosophical inquiry, questioning assumptions, and focusing on what we can control, we gain dominion over our minds. If fear were an ocean, you would not be a creature bound to its depths. You possess the power to step onto solid ground. By embracing Stoic principles of rational thought, you can dismantle fear's hold and choose to live with confidence and peace. 5. Choosing freedom over fear. At its core, fear is a choice, an illusion we allow to imprison us. Epictetus offers the key to breaking free from these mental chains. Through rational thinking, introspection, and prioritizing what truly matters, you can reclaim your life. With Epictetus as your guide, you can face life's trials with calmness, courage, and resilience. The decision is yours. Remain shackled by irrational fears, or break free and embrace the boundless potential of a life guided by inner strength. Are you ready to seize control of your life? The journey to liberation from fear begins now. When life throws challenges our way, we stand at a crossroads. We can choose to let these trials crush us, accepting them as mere misfortunes, or we can rise to meet them head-on, transforming them into stepping stones for growth. This is the heart of resilience, the power to turn adversity into fuel for personal evolution. Picture this, facing a difficult situation at work, enduring the pain of loss, or navigating the turbulence of a strained relationship. It's tempting to feel defeated. But what if we reframed these moments? What if, instead of succumbing to despair, we embrace them as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined? Consider Thomas Edison, who viewed his 10,000 failed experiments not as failures, but as lessons. "I have not failed," he famously declared. "I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." For Edison, each setback was a step closer to success, a mindset that propelled him toward greatness. This unwavering resilience is the hallmark of those who achieve extraordinary things. By shifting our perspective, we can harness struggles to propel ourselves forward. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" By focusing on what we control, our thoughts, reactions, and efforts, we empower ourselves to transform obstacles into tools for self-improvement. This Stoic approach reminds us that true strength comes from within. Life's difficulties don't break us, they shape us. They refine our character, build inner resilience, and prepare us for greater challenges ahead. Seen through this lens, challenges are not barriers, but invitations to evolve. Now, let's talk about belief in yourself. Too often, we hold ourselves back not because we lack ability, but because we fear judgment or failure. This fear can paralyze us, keeping us from pursuing our dreams. Yet consider Epictetus, born into slavery, who rose above his circumstances to become one of history's greatest philosophers. His life is a testament to the idea that external conditions do not define us. It's our mindset and determination that matter most. Epictetus teaches us to focus on what we can control: our actions, thoughts, and belief in our potential. Success isn't measured by external achievements, but by the progress we make toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Whether you're launching a business, creating art, or striving toward a personal goal, every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and grow. When faced with a challenge, remind yourself of your inner strength. Every difficulty is a chance to build resilience, gain insight, and move closer to your true potential. This Stoic mindset, and here's the truth: don't fear the opinions of others. In a world obsessed with social media likes and external validation, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. But, as Epictetus wisely said, if you seek outside approval, you sacrifice your integrity. True strength lies in trusting yourself, acting with authenticity, and staying aligned with your values, regardless of how others perceive you. When we live for others' approval, we betray our authentic selves. We conform to external expectations, abandoning the path meant for us. Stoicism calls us to find purpose within, pursue goals with integrity, and measure success by our own standards, not the applause of the crowd. The next time you doubt your worth or fear criticism, remember this: you have the power to forge your own path. Stay true to your values and trust in your ability to navigate life's challenges with confidence and resilience. By doing so, you'll discover that inner peace and self-assurance far outweigh any fleeting validation from others. Greatness isn't about seeking recognition. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and living with integrity, purpose, and growth. Imagine a life where others' opinions no longer dictate your choices. A life where you're free from the exhausting cycle of bending and adjusting to win approval. That's true freedom, and it's exactly what Epictetus teaches us. We can't control what others think of us, their judgments, criticisms, or praise. But we can control our actions, attitudes, and responses. By focusing on what's within our power, we liberate ourselves from the relentless pursuit of validation. Think about it. When we shape our lives around others' expectations, we're not truly living. We become actors in a play, constantly changing our script to suit the audience. But life isn't a performance. Stoicism urges us to live authentically, guided by our principles and values, not the shifting tides of approval. History's greatest minds understood this. Socrates, Galileo, Martin Luther King Jr., they all faced harsh criticism, ridicule, and persecution. Yet they stood firm in their beliefs, knowing that compromising their integrity for approval would be the greatest loss of all. In your own life, this might mean standing by your convictions, even when they're unpopular, pursuing a path others don't understand, or simply being your true self despite societal pressures. When we stop fearing judgment, we unlock the freedom to grow, explore, and live without limits. Epictetus warns us that seeking approval stunts growth. If we're consumed by what others think, we avoid risks, stay in our comfort zones, and shy away from challenges. But growth happens through discomfort, mistakes, and bold moves. Every time we let fear dictate our choices, we deny ourselves the chance to evolve. Instead of worrying about how others perceive us, we should embrace challenges and view them as opportunities. The more we practice this mindset, the stronger and more resilient we become. It's natural to care about others' opinions. It's human. But Stoicism encourages self-compassion and inner validation. Celebrate your progress, acknowledge your efforts, and take pride in who you are. When you cultivate this inner strength, criticism loses its sting. You no longer need approval to feel worthy or permission to live your truth. At some point, we all face criticism. It's inevitable. But how we respond defines us. Epictetus reminds us to stay true to our path, and not let external opinions sway us. By adopting this Stoic mindset, we develop unshakable confidence. We navigate life with resilience, staying true to ourselves no matter what others say. There's one fear that looms larger than all others: the fear of death. Most people avoid thinking about it, pretending it's distant. But Epictetus teaches us the opposite. Confronting death frees us to live more fully. "I cannot escape death," he said, "but at least I can escape the fear of it." We can't control death. It's an inevitable part of life. But we can control our perception of it. By shifting our mindset, we remove the anxiety and dread that surround it. Epictetus faced death daily, not only because of his fragile health, but also due to the harsh realities of slavery. Yet he didn't let fear consume him. Instead, he used it as motivation to focus on what truly mattered. The key to overcoming this fear is to change how we see death. Rather than viewing it as a tragic end, we can see it as a natural part of existence, a reminder to live each moment with purpose. The Stoics understood something vital. Confronting death openly strips it of its paralyzing fear. By acknowledging mortality not as an enemy, but as an intrinsic part of existence, we transform it from a source of dread into a teacher of peace and acceptance. When we cease to fear death, we awaken to life in its fullest sense. We step out of autopilot mode and into presence. Our attention shifts from what we cannot control, like the passage of time, to what we can shape: our actions, our influence, and the legacy we leave behind. Rather than obsessing about the length of our days, we focus instead on their depth and significance. Instead of asking, "When will I die?" let us challenge ourselves with a far richer inquiry: "How must I live so that my time here resonates with purpose?" Epictetus and the Stoic philosophers recognized that fear, whether of others' opinions or of death itself, is a self-imposed cage. Yet within each of us lies the key to unlock it. The Stoics understood something vital. Confronting death openly strips it of its paralyzing fear. By acknowledging mortality not as an enemy, but as an intrinsic part of existence, we transform it from a source of dread into a teacher of peace and acceptance. When we cease to fear death, we awaken to life in its fullest sense. We step out of autopilot mode and into presence. Our attention shifts from what we cannot control, like the passage of time, to what we can shape: our actions, our influence, and the legacy we leave behind. Rather than obsessing about the length of our days, we focus instead on their depth and significance. Instead of asking, "When will I die?" let us challenge ourselves with a far richer inquiry: "How must I live so that my time here resonates with purpose?" Epictetus and the Stoic philosophers recognized that fear, whether of others' opinions or of death itself, is a self-imposed cage. Yet within each of us lies the key to unlock it. Overcoming the fear of judgment frees us to live authentically, unshackled by the need for approval. Confronting the fear of death empowers us to live fully, embracing every moment with clarity and intention. This path leads not just to resilience, but to liberation, a state where inner peace becomes our constant companion. It is here, free from fear, that we discover true freedom, the ability to live boldly, love deeply, and create a life that speaks to eternity.